Got y'all another one for you today. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. If you don't know me, let me introduce myself. My name is Jay motherfucking Salty. Don't forget the J, and don't forget that they can get a little salty. I'm the light-skinned wizard, the light-skinned therapist, the light-skinned mystic and take your bitch, and just a light-skinned nigga in general. If you don't know me, now you know me. And for today's reaction, we're going to be watching a video where it says woman deserves to be punished for false allegations. I don't know anything that's going on with this video, but I know I do see on the internet that a lot of, especially people with, once they get a little bit of status, they start to get, you know, false allegations towards them because maybe like they messed with a woman in the past and they are a little salty that they made it and they didn't. So, you know, there's a whole bunch of scenarios and situations that have been took place for a lot of big celebrities that have done that, like for Kai, for example, or that's the only one I can take up to the top of my dome, because I know it was like some $5,000, but like he proved to them that like he didn't send it. You know, she was just trying to get some clout. You know, a lot of these shorties want get a little clout off these people. So, you know, I just, you know me, I try to just deal with everybody who I mess with and, you know, try to end it off on good terms, because I don't want this to bounce back on me.
Are messed up, especially in a world where there's so many weirdos and creeps that actually do weird things. It's crazy to accuse innocent men of doing something that they haven't done, and we usually see this type of stuff happen with big time celebrities, athletes, especially athletes, and most of the time it's done in the pursuit of money, a payday, check, or maybe because they cheated on you and you're just trying to ruin their reputation, or maybe you cheated on them and you're trying to ruin their reputation, but we'll get to that later. But at the same time, there's also a lot of allegations that are real, like the P. Diddy situation, which it hasn't been ruled officially yet, but
still to this day, the most craziest situation I feel like that ever took place on this internet shit. Crazy ass situation.
But I'm not gonna lie, them parties look looking crazy. But even in situations where the allegations are most likely true, people still want to find a way to get paid for accusing people falsely, or most likely falsely, let me say that. And allegedly, this is what happened to Odell Beckham and Drewski. So if you don't know who Odell or Drewski are, Odell is a football player who was famous for making that one-handed catch, you know, the Odell catch, you know what I'm talking about. And Drewski is a pretty popular comedian that's been blowing up crazily recently and also has no house, or he's just never home. It was one of the two. But recently, there's been a lawsuit made against the two for allegedly doing some weird stuff at the Diddy party. The lawsuit was from a girl who accused the two of rape back in 2018 at a Diddy party. I'm gonna read you these files and you're gonna see what I mean, because it was very descriptive. Let me just say that. So on point 77, instead of immediately graping plaintiff, defendant Drewski doused plaintiff with more oil lubricant and then jumped on top of plaintiff's naked and oiled up body, treating it like a slip and slide and knocking the wind out of plaintiff due to his enormous size. Yes, that's an actual legal document. And it gets crazier because apparently Drewski has actually attended a Diddy party before, as well as Odell. If he was curious,
I don't even know what to say, but that's fucking insane. Oh hell, oh hell no.
How Odell's in this document, basically after Drewski oiled up the girl, Odell came in for seconds, allegedly. But both of them have publicly stated they've both been to Diddy parties before. Drewski has a pretty popular podcast clip of him saying that he went to a Diddy party, he's just laughing about it. But at the same time, what are these allegations? Like, there's actually no way the law.
I thought it was the same one.
Lawyer and the defendant actually thought people were gonna believe this. You're finna tell me that Drewski doused the defendant in oil and then jumped on her? Brother, she will be dead. Like, come on, are we talking about the same Drewski? I ain't even trying to fat shame for real. But at the same time, Drewski jumping up and down on an oiled up body, like, bro, you would crush her to death. And you know the crazy part about this whole thing? People on the internet was actually believing this too. And it's because Drewski was at a Diddy party, like I just mentioned earlier. But at the same time, it's very obvious that this isn't true. And Drewski and his team quickly put out a statement stating that there's absolutely no way this could.
The allegation was a parallel.
to happen because Drewski wasn't even popular in 2018. He was living with his moms and he didn't even know Diddy. So like there's actually no way that it could have been him. This kind of gave an alibi for Odell too, because I mean, if Drewski wasn't there, how we finna validate the Odell statement? So both of them kind of got into the clear once that happened, which makes it even crazier to why this was a lawsuit anyways. This was just insane. But in my opinion, this brings up a great topic. We gotta stop these fake allegations, man. Like, even though this Drewski and Odell situation is obviously fake, what if the lawyer and defendant weren't being dumb and they actually made a valid argument? Or let me just say lie, that people actually believed fully. They could have very well ruined Drewski's career, especially since people already know that he's been to Diddy parties before. This kind of shows you how dangerous faking allegations can really get. You really could have just ruined an innocent man's life just because you wanted some money. Like, greed is a horrible thing when you get too tapped into it. But what could be worse than greed is jealousy and envy, which is what happened to Xavier Worthy. Now, if you thought the last one was crazy, I'm telling you, this one is even wilder because a lot of what I'm finna say actually happened and it is confirmed that it actually happened. So Xavier Worthy has a girlfriend named Tia Jones. She's a track athlete and she's pretty good at what she does. If you don't know who Xavier Worthy is, he's an NFL wide receiver for the Chiefs and he's actually been pretty good. It was his rookie season last year. He played well all season and he also played well in the Super Bowl even though the Chiefs did lose.
I don't know nothing about these famous people, so before y'all sit here and say, dang, you don't know nothing, I don't. This situation that I'm hearing right now is new to me, whatever he about to explain.
But he's a very promising talent and he's very, very, very talented. But sometimes even if you're talented on the field, off the field issues can really mess you up. And this is exactly what happened with him and his girl, Tia Jones. Because one day after practice or workouts, he came home and he realized that his girl, Tia, was cheating on him. And of course he crashed out a little bit, but there was no physical altercation, mostly verbal. And he basically told her that she has a week to get out of the house. But fast forward to a week and she's refusing to leave. So Xavier and Tia get into another altercation, but this time it gets violent. But not in the way you think. Tia ends up trying to beat his ass. And she actually does do a lot of damage. I mean, apparently she was hitting him. She pulled out some of his hair to the point where he had to cut off the rest of his locks after the altercation because it looked so crazy. And overall, it was a pretty loud commotion because neighbors heard and kind of seen what was going on. But see, here's the thing, right? Tia is a national athlete. Her reputation really does matter. So before Xavier could publicly break up with her and say that she cheated on him, she decided to file a domestic violence accusation against Worthy, even though she's the one that hit him. Like the utter
Yo. That's some petty ass shit. So she basically said, oh, I don't want to get embarrassed on the internet because of our breakup. So before I get all the hate, I'ma be petty and I'm going to fuck up your career. Like, girl, oh my, like I don't even know how they think of this bullshit. Like,
audacity of this girl, it's crazy. You hit him and then you proceeded to accuse him of assault against you. What are you talking about? And word on the street is allegedly she was trying to do this so she can get his money, because as soon as she accused him, he actually got arrested and he was facing up to 2 to 10 years in prison before it got disproven. I'm gonna tell you how it got disproven in a second, but stay with me. If Xavier did
so fucking stupid, bro,
goes to jail, since technically she was his fiance at the time, his salary money from the Chiefs would go to her, which is something you probably didn't know about. But that's why we see a lot of domestic violence charges against these athletes, or let me say allegations, let me say that, because there's a lot of money involved if you file it and you have any bit of evidence. But Tia never received that money because it was quickly proven that this whole assault charge was fake. And the reason why is because they have a camera in their home and it literally caught the whole fight. Like, how are you finna accuse this man of assault when you're literally on camera shown to be assaulting him? That's just slow. But once the evidence was shown, the whole entire case was actually dropped. But the impact,
god damn. Damn, he really had to cut off his locks. Oh god damn, god.
And the hit on Xavier Worthy's reputation still stayed, because this whole story went viral. His mugshot went viral, the whole story went viral, and everybody thought that Xavier Worthy hit on this girl, when in all reality, she hit on him. And for some reason, she gets to walk away from this whole situation like nothing ever happened, while Xavier's reputation is utterly ruined. Disgusting. This shouldn't be allowed to happen. A lot of y'all might disagree with this, but I honestly feel like whenever you falsely accuse a man of doing something, whatever time he got, you should get yourself. And I don't feel like that's crazy to say that, because the amount of women that are ruining these athletes, these celebrities' lives just to get bread is absolutely crazy. And it's something that
it's not even just about bread, but it's also just like a petty thing. Like a lot of girls, a lot of females, they mad petty. So of course, if you get out of a relationship, especially when the relationship ended on bad terms, she's gonna try everything in her power to get back at you. So especially if you are a man of status and a man that has like bread, or you're coming up, even if you coming up, and once she sees that, okay, yeah, this motherfucker's a little, he high up there now, yeah, I'm gonna try to ruin this nigga's career. And it just sucks, but at the end of the day, you know, you just gotta be careful who you put in your circle, and make sure like you don't just jump into shit, because you never know who and what they can do to your life.
Stopped. I mean, there's literally a stereotype of white girls dating athletes, and then whenever they get to the NFL, they accuse them of something and steal their money. That's literally a thing that happens a good amount of the time. Mind you, it doesn't happen all the time, but it's happened so much that people literally make jokes about it. That is not funny at all. And the only argument I can think of to make against this is that it could discourage women from accusing actual because they don't have enough evidence, which is a sad reality. But at the same time, it's gotten to this length because other women who aren't victims want to play the victim so they can get money, which is very evil when you really think about it, because you have traumatized women out here fighting to get justice from a criminal doing a crazy, inhumane act upon them, and here you go accusing somebody of rape just because you're trying to get an easy payday. Like, shame is real, and it's a lost art.
I don't understand. Like, I
truly do feel bad for any victims of rape and assault in their life, but I also feel equally as bad as people who have been accused of that and they never did it, because both lives end up getting ruined. Besides that, I think that's pretty much all I got to say for this video. Hope y'all liked it. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Let me know y'all opinions down in the comment section, bro. I don't know, man. I just don't like this. I don't like to see this, bro.
Oh my God. This will be a little shorter than usual, but really, like how I stated earlier, just be careful who you put in your circle. If you're gonna date a shorty, you feel me? Be careful, you know, vet her out as long as humanly possible until you're like, okay, I know that this girl won't do that. And especially try to end off any relationship that you're in on good terms, because you never know if they're gonna be on some petty shit and try to get back at you because, you know, they want some of that money, and they just like, it just sucks. And the fact that when a woman falsely accuses a man for like doing all this dumb shit or doing whatever just to try to get some publicity from it, the fact that they can walk away, like he said, walk away, and they don't get no precautions or anything is absolutely insane. I do agree, like if a man went to jail for like 10 years for something that he didn't even do to this woman, she should go to jail and face the same amount of time or even double. I think they should do double. I ain't gonna lie. If you was going to sentence this man to 5 years and he ended up beating the case, finding out that this shit was fraud, you going in for fucking 10, because I don't give a goddamn. But, you know, just be careful and, you know, make good decisions and don't do stupid shit. That's God damn it. That's it for today's video. Hope y'all enjoy y'all Friday. But God bless y'all, and I will see y'all. I'm out. Deuces.
Alright, for y'all baby, man. This one from the heart. My day ones are angels, 120 degrees and threes work all angles. My brother died early, got his halo. My name is section that I can't go.